Welcome back, deep divers. Buckle up. We're diving into crypto in October 2024.
Yeah, it's a wild world out there right now.
You said it. And we're not just talking prices. We've got market reports, expert opinions, some of that juicy social media chatter.
Your one-stop shop to make sense of it all.
Exactly. So Forbes Advisor, they just released their 10 best cryptocurrencies of October 2024 list.
I saw that.
And some of these returns, right? They're pretty wild. Bitcoin's up 128% since last year.
Solid.
Not too shabby, right? But then you've got Solana coming in hot at 546% gain.
Yeah, Solana's on fire.
Insane. Even Dogecoin's having a moment, up 81%.
It's interesting, though. Those numbers only tell part of the story.
Right. It's not just about how high can it go.
Exactly. Got to look at the why. For example, Bitcoin's growth, that steady climb, that makes sense. More people are using it for actual transactions, right? But Solana, that surge that's probably tied to all the hype around DeFi, decentralized finance.
So it's more than just hype. It's like, are they actually doing something with this technology?
Utility, that's the key word.
Right. But okay, get this right. We also have Jason Pizzino's analysis.
Oh, yeah. What's he saying?
He's arguing that Bitcoin, even with these gains, is actually undervalued right now.
Wow. See, that's what I mean about crypto. It's like this weird mix of sentiment and actual value. Sometimes they match up. Sometimes they're totally off.
Yeah, it's like everyone's excited about this shiny new thing, but is it actually built to last?
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
So we can't just get caught up in FOMO. We got to look deeper.
Absolutely. Fundamentals, tech use cases, all of it.
Speaking of deeper, have you noticed this term bear trap popping up everywhere?
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
What does it even mean? Sounds kind of scary.
Well, it can be, imagine this, the price of a crypto starts tanking. People panic. They think it's going to zero. So they sell. Those are the bears, right?
Okay, makes sense.
But then out of nowhere, the price reverses course and shoots back up, leaving those bears stuck.
Ouch.
They sold low. Missed the rebound. Totally trapped.
So it's like a fake out, a way to weed out the people who aren't really in it for the long haul?
Exactly. And it ties into the emotional roller coaster of crypto trading.
Yeah.
We're talking big swings driven by news speculation, even just plain old fear and greed.
And speaking of big swings, TradingView News, they're saying Bitcoin could be setting up for one of these bounces this month.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're pointing to the rising number of active Bitcoin addresses, more people using it, which is usually a good sign.
Right, but then you've got Jason Pizzino again, and he's like, hold on a second. This bear trap thing, this could play out over years.
Years?
Yeah, he's looking at these long-term market cycles. He's even got a 127-year cycle mapped out. Says this current dip is just a blip in the grand scheme of things.
127 years, that's a long time.
That's crypto for you, right?
And then you've got Crypto Banter taking the middle ground. They're predicting another small dip, but then boom, potential explosion upwards.
See, this is why I love this space. You've got all these different perspectives, all these potential scenarios. It's never boring.
So who do we listen to?
That's the thing. There's no one right answer. It all comes down to your own risk tolerance and how long you're planning to hold.
Right. If you're in it for the long game, these short-term swings probably don't even faze you.
Exactly. But if you're trying to make a quick buck, you better have nerves of steel.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure. But hey, that's why we're here to break it all down.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially in the crypto world.
Okay, so we've talked about Bitcoin, but let's be real. There's a whole universe of crypto out there beyond just Bitcoin. What about those altcoins?
Yes, the altcoin jungle. It's a wild west out there.
It can be overwhelming. Where do we even begin?
Well, remember that Forbes Advisor article we talked about?
Yeah.
They made a really good point about due diligence.
Right, like doing your homework before you jump in.
Exactly. You wouldn't buy a car without checking under the hood, right?
Or a house without an inspection, for sure.
The same goes for altcoins. You got to look under the hood, kick the tires, make sure you know what you're getting into.
So what are we looking for specifically?
They broke it down into a few key things. First, market capitalization. That's basically the total value of all the coins in circulation.
Okay, so like the bigger the market cap, the more established the coin.
Generally speaking, yeah. Then there's liquidity. How easy is it to buy or sell the coin without causing huge price swings?
So you don't want to be stuck holding the bag if everyone else is trying to sell.
Exactly. You want a coin that has a good amount of trading volume, enough buyers and sellers to keep things moving smoothly.
Makes sense. What else?
Security is huge. You got to make sure the project's code is solid, the systems are secure. You don't want to invest in something that's going to get hacked next week.
Oh, yeah. Those horror stories are real.
And finally, maybe most importantly, the use case. What problem is this altcoin trying to solve? Does it actually bring something new to the table?
Right, because there's a lot of hype out there, but hype doesn't always equal real-world value.
Exactly. You got to separate the signal from the noise. And that's where things can get tricky. Well, because for every legit project out there, there's probably 10 more that are just trying to make a quick buck.
You're talking about those pump and dump schemes, right?
Exactly. And Ivan on Tech in that YouTube video, he actually brought up a perfect example of this whole drama going on between ZachXBT and Anom.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing's a mess.
It just goes to show you got to be careful who you trust. Do your own research. Don't just blindly follow what you see on Twitter.
So how do we protect ourselves to any red flags to watch out for?
Absolutely. For starters, if the project is only listed on some shady exchange you've never heard of, that's a big red flag.
So stick to the well-known, reputable exchanges.
Exactly. And then look at the team behind the project. Are they transparent about who they are? Do they have a proven track record?
Right. You don't want to trust your money to some anonymous group with zero experience.
And of course, any promises of guaranteed returns or getting in early, that's a huge red flag.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly. Common sense goes a long way in the crypto world, but it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Especially when you see those prices going crazy.
Which brings us back to that emotional roller coaster we were talking about before. Remember, the crypto market is volatile. Big swings are just part of the game.
So how do we stay sane amidst all the chaos?
Well, Jason Pizzino had that great quote from Jesse Livermore. Money is made by sitting, not trading.
So we should just buy and hold.
It's not quite that simple, but the point is you got to have a plan and stick to it. Don't let your emotions make decisions for you.
So no panic selling when the market dips.
Nano-phono buying just because everyone else is. Either.
Well, easier said than done sometimes.
I know, but that's where discipline comes in. And Crypto Banter actually had a really helpful tip for this. They talked about setting limit orders.
Limit orders?
Yeah, it's basically like setting up an automatic buy or sell order at a specific price.
So let's say I want to buy Bitcoin, but only if it drops to $60,000. I can set a limit order, and my platform will automatically buy it for me if it hits that price.
Exactly. It takes the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
You're not scrambling to buy or sell at the worst possible time.
That's actually really smart. I've never thought about it that way.
It's a game changer, especially in a volatile market like crypto. It helps you stay focused on your long-term goals instead of getting caught up in the moment.
Limit orders, huh? That's pretty smart, actually. Takes the emotion out of it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's all about having a plan and sticking to it.
So much good stuff in this deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground here. You know, market trends, altcoins, emotional trading. It's a lot.
It is a lot to digest.
What would you say is like the most important thing for our listeners to take away from all of this?
Honestly, I think it's just remembering that you are in control. You know, there's so much noise in the crypto space, so much conflicting information. It's easy to get swept up in all of that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, you get to decide what you believe in, what you invest in, and how you manage your own risk.
You're creating your own crypto adventure.
Exactly. You said it perfectly. And knowledge is your superpower in this space. The more you know, the better equipped you are to navigate all the ups and downs.
So do your research, be skeptical of anything that sounds too good to be true.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Challenge your own assumptions.
Speaking of questions, remember that BitLab Academy video? They asked, are you ready for the next bull run?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one because bull markets can be just as dangerous as bear markets if you're not prepared.
How so? I mean, everyone loves a bull market, right? Prices going up, good times.
Sure, but it's easy to get caught up in the hype. You know, people get greedy. They start buying at the top, then the market corrects and they lose everything.
They forget to sell high.
Exactly. They get blinded by the green candles. And that's why having a plan is so important, even in a bull market. Know your goals, know your limits, and stick to your strategy.
So we've got bear traps, we've got bull traps. It's like a jungle out there.
It is a jungle, but it's a jungle full of opportunity, too.
That's a good way to look at it. So to our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, enjoy the ride.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. But hey, this is just the beginning, right? There's a whole world of crypto out there waiting to be explored.
And we'll be here to guide you through it every step of the way.
Until next time, deep divers, stay curious, stay informed, and keep on diving.